What's up, guys? It's time for the motherfucking daily video, and I've been talking about it. I've been talking about it in the recent vlogs and the recent videos, and I've been talking about what happened at our old apartment and why we left. So we got our special guest Dakota right here.
What's up?
He's gonna also explain the story and say some of his input on what happened, because this shit was fucking crazy. So a few months ago we got a text from a girl named Kimmy, and she had an apartment, and at the time she had 3 people living there. She said and they were all staying in her living room, and one was staying in her closet. So she hit us up, told us that it would be $375 a month, and that we could move in on the 25th of that month. Actually, she was trying to get us in there before then, but then she said it wouldn't work out, so then we were going to come on the 25th. So that was about a little over a month of us being in the van. So we agreed to it, and we were going to move in on the 25th of that month. Time's going by. She starts sending us like text messages, while
skeptical or
yeah, like she was like skeptical that if we were coming or not. She'd be like, "Oh, are you guys still coming?" She's like, "Are you guys still coming on the 25th, right?" And we were like, "Yeah, we always said that we were down." And she would also
and this was multiple times, and then I remember going into the house, and like almost like she would like make it seem like it was a joke, but really you could tell it was serious, you know, and just like going into the house when she was saying, "You guys got the money, right?" or something.
Oh yeah, she would always ask if we like had the money, if we still had the money or whatever. Oh yeah, she would always try to get us to come over to like take shower. Like she would ask if we want to come over and take a shower, or if we want to come stay the night or whatever, and we just didn't want to do that because we were totally comfortable in the van. You know, like we were totally fine. We were just gonna wait till the 25th.
Yeah, no big deal either. Like, why would that, you know?
Yeah, it wasn't a thing, you know. It's not like we weren't gonna come, you know, or we were gonna cancel out or anything. We just were so comfortable in the van, and we were kind of enjoying that time, almost, you know.
I remember
like,
that feeling too.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of like, honestly, it's like if to be completely real, it's like if we were gonna leave right now.
Yeah.
The same thing would happen, because, I mean, as weird and probably sad to some of you it might sound, we're comfortable like this.
Yeah.
And I personally just really like it. I almost wouldn't prefer any other way to live.
Yeah, this is the most, you know, it's just me and Dakota, you know, like we're comfortable in here. We don't got to deal with nobody or anything. So like we were almost like, we were happy that we were getting a place, but we were also like kind of like, man, we're gonna miss this, you know. We got so used to it. We got so, you know, we did it for a long time, you know, and now we're back doing it again. So what does that show, you know? If we didn't like it, we wouldn't be doing it right now again. Yeah. So all that goes through. We finally end up going into the house. First day there, we meet this fucking guy named Oliver. And Oliver tells us right off the bat that he's gonna be leaving in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, you know, we don't think nothing of it. We're just, you know, we don't know these people really or anything. This guy's leaving in 2 weeks. Okay, so 2 weeks goes by, and he's still there. And while all that was happening, this guy is so fucking annoying. He just fucking talks.
And I mean, if anyone's gay out there, it's not bad being gay. I have friends right now that are gay, and they're cool. But this guy was just, I believe, one of those gay guys that were so gay that they were annoying. They were just so, like, he was one of those guys that were just so feminine that, like, oh my god, like, and just won't stop that kind of, like, talking all day, and, like, like, he'd, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like,
do you know what I'm saying?
Like, and he would relate anything possible to whatever he's doing, anybody else is doing, to bring you in on it, which is, it's not a negative thing, you know, but it can be when, you know, he's not paying money like we are.
Yeah.
Or, you know, all this stuff, you know. Like,
that's another thing. This guy was just living there rent-free, not paying anything at all. And the shitty part about it is we were renting the living room. We were renting the living room. This motherfucker would be out there all the fucking time, talking and talking and talking. There was times when me and Dakota, I'd be on my computer, Dakota would be on his bed, and this guy's just talking to us.
Yeah, like we're trying to sleep or something. Like I have like days where I got to get up early for work, and you know Mikey too, but Mikey don't really, Mikey don't really care about that. But either way, I mean, we got to get up, you know, in the morning sometime. And there's been one night where this whole like fight happened, and he was super childish about it. I mean, keep in mind he's older than we are, and he's in the window screaming
26.
outside of the window. Come up here then, motherfuckers, come on, like to girls, by the way, no guy out there in the street at all these girls.
It was a huge brawl of girls.
Yeah, but this man was out in the window saying, come on, I'll stab you, like all this stuff, like,
yeah.
And so I mean, that kind of stuff, just talking, like nonstop talking, and like,
and he wouldn't stop though. That's the thing.
Though, you know.
And he also, okay, when we first went in, I had a candy. My mom gave me some candy. It was like a thing of candy. I forgot what kind of candy, like fruit candies. Okay, they were kind of by the garbage can on the shelf because there was a shelf right there. They ended up disappearing. I thought, okay, maybe these fucking fell in the garbage
this
can.
This is actually really funny.
Maybe these fell in the garbage can, you know, thought nothing of it.
Or
and
maybe Dakota ate them.
Yeah.
Now keep this going. No.
Maybe, no, Dakota wouldn't. Dakota.
No, but I'm saying, like, you could think, like, maybe Dakota ate them.
Yeah, maybe something happened.
What else happened? I mean,
nothing could have happened because people fucking are supposed to be respectful. Yeah. People respect other fucking humans.
Then what other stuff came up? That's what I'm trying to say.
You know? So, that was the first thing that went missing. All of a sudden, I had a box of fucking Hot Pockets in the freezer. Those came up missing.
Meat Hot Pockets.
Meat Hot Pockets. Dakota wouldn't eat those. Oh,
I can't eat them.
Here's the first time I confronted him. I had bought some eggs, and I didn't eat any of the eggs in like, I don't know, like a week and a half or something like that. But I knew I had a whole fucking pack of eggs there. You know, I knew when I do go to eat these eggs, I'm gonna have these eggs there. The first time I go to check my eggs, fucking half the box is missing. Half the box is missing.
After things are getting stolen, he's stealing his weed pretty much? Like...
Yeah. So, you know, I'm smoking or whatever, and, you know, it's nice to smoke people out, you know? You smoke with people and shit, you know? No problem. But when this motherfucker comes up and tells you, pack a bowl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pack a bowl.
One.
Or he'll just walk up.
Bugging me
all
day long. When's Mikey gonna get home? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna ask him. Sure. I'll text Mikey to ask him when he's gonna get home. Mikey tells me, like 4:30 or whatever. I don't know what this guy wants, you know. So I just ask what time he gets off. I tell him, I was like, yeah, he gets off at like 4:30 or whatever. He's like, okay, man. I hope he gets home soon, man. Next thing you know, Mikey walks in the door and he's like, pack a bowl. That's like the whole thing. I didn't know that, or else I wouldn't even have asked him.
Yeah, he comes home. I go right into the kitchen, putting my shit in the refrigerator. I put my stuff in there, and he goes, Mikey, I've been waiting for you all day. And I was like, oh yeah, why? Pack a bowl? Motherfucker. What the fuck, dude? I already don't want to fucking smoke with you at all. So I pretty much just stopped talking. We pretty much just stopped talking to him,
real,
you know?
At that time frame, it was real, like, it was real awkward, and just like you could feel bad in the air. And here's what I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. What pissed me off, probably more than anything, was Kimmy more than him, because Kimmy is the worst one here. She promised that she would give us a key.
Yep.
She gave that fucking key to that dude. the guy that doesn't pay money like we do. Let's just go ahead and tell you how much. Me and this guy were paying $350, right? $375. $375 each. I'm $375, he's $375. So a total of like $750 for a living room that another dude sleeps in, and as the story goes on, she lets more people come in there. In and out of there. Sketchy people. Not every person's sketchy, but sketchy people.
So let me just also backtrack that. She said a lot of things. She's like, you guys are gonna get a key. That never happened. We had mentioned Oliver, and she's saying, oh, I want Oliver out too, you know. She's like, he's gonna be out, I'm gonna kick him out. At one point she did kick him out and said he would be out on that Saturday. Wasn't gone. Once we made it known that it's a problem to us, she said that he's gonna be gone. Never left. Just every single thing she ever told us.
A lie.
was a lie. Everything she ever said, she never did, and never kept her word about anything at all. And so eventually the next month comes around, and that's when shit kind of got weird, you know, like, because we were kind of somewhat cool with Kimmy, because we didn't know how she really was, you know.
Yeah.
We were just talking to her, you know, telling her our problems, telling her, like, okay, he needs to go. And it seemed like she was on our side.
Yeah, it did seem like that.
The first month.
He kept coming around, which is kind of like a, you know, it's just indicator that she likes him. She feels probably comfortable around him and doesn't feel comfortable around us.
Yeah.
Probably because he's gay, yes, and she was too.
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, it makes sense to me why she probably would have picked him over us. But
yeah. He's probably still there.
Here's the dumb thing on her part. Yeah, he's probably still there. Here's the dumb thing though. We're paying her rent money pretty much. She had people pay her rent money for her that she needed monthly.
Yeah.
And she went out and pretty much spent it.
Yeah. So here's another thing. So she tells me that she's like, okay, there's gonna be this new guy coming in. He's gonna stay in my room though. He's gonna be in my room, and you guys are gonna have the living room. And she said he'll only be out there sometimes whenever her girlfriend comes over. So the guy moves in, cool guy, wasn't a bad guy. Some of the people that came in were actually not bad.
Oh yeah.
You know, this guy was pretty quiet. He pretty much kept to himself. But she said that he was gonna be in her room.
Yeah.
Instead, we're paying half the rent, and we got another guy sleeping in the living room with us. And that's so shitty, because not only does Dakota go to sleep early, but this guy is going to sleep early. I go to sleep late. I gotta be fucking extra quiet and shit, dude. I gotta be tiptoeing around this motherfucking house and shit. You know, we got so many people here, so many people going in the bathroom, and then and then he ends up leaving, and he asked, you know, he was only there for about a week, I think it was. And he comes home, he's like, oh, you guys, I got a new place or whatever. He's gonna be going to the new place. And then he goes to talk to Kimmy. And he's like, hey, Kimmy, I was wondering if I could have some of the money back. And she's like, oh, no, man, all that shit's already gone. You know, and just like, he was only there for like a week.
Yeah.
Tops, you know, and he was gone for like 4 days out of that anyways. So that just goes to show that she gets this money and just fucking spends it like that.
Yep.
Pretty much there was a lot of tension during that time too. Like, I was just that last month. Oh, because she started, this is the huge part. She started saying, like, she started telling me, keep it down. She's like, you got to keep it down. You're being loud. There was a night that that Dakota was on the phone from the time that we got home till he went to bed. He was pretty much on the phone. And I get a text message the next day that says, hey man, my neighbor's, my manager's tripping. My manager's tripping. I need to, you guys got to keep it down. So that was the first thing. And I remember whenever we first moved into the house, one of the things that she told us was that she's like, oh, because she had like, oh yeah, before we even moved in, she had like 3 other people come in before us. And that was, we didn't even know about that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, but the guy had a kid, the couple had a kid, and I just wasn't trying to feel that, so I just told them that my manager was tripping. So and then I kicked him out. I remembered that shit.
And here's the crazy part, and I hope Kimmy watches this too.
I have a feeling she will.
I hope so. Here's the thing, and if she is, then you know, this is funny, but we both planned our leave, and we were smart about it. I mean, we'd be stupid if we didn't, anyways. But I mean, we had planned to leave anyways, and then so she eventually had told us, hey, you guys got to go. My manager, same thing he just said. My manager.
After she kept warning us about being loud, which I knew was all a setup just to kick us out. I fucking knew it. The first time she told us that the manager was tripping, that was like right before my birthday, and we're like, you know, we already know it's coming. We're gonna go get a storage.
Yep. Boom.
So on my birthday, I went and got the storage so we could get the shit out of there, so we could move out the next month. So on Dakota had one of his days off, and he went out there and took all our stuff to the storage, and then we just told her that we found a practice place, a place to practice.
Yeah.
So she was like, oh, cool, yeah. But you know, I knew that we were getting kicked out. We knew that we were getting kicked out. We knew it was coming. So we were one step ahead. We were one step ahead of her.
Another thing too that I believe she did was, because it was weird, in that location where we lived, it was a super sketchy place and everything, but I really believe that she's the one that pretty much got rid of our license plate.
One of them.
Because yeah, I mean it was definitely one of them, but I just feel like because at first we go out there and it was crumpled. Okay, and this is why I think it's them. It was crumpled up, so it was like just damage. You know, who's gonna do that and not take it?
Yeah.
And if they didn't get to take it off because it was hard to take it off, they would never came back for it.
Yeah.
So we come back later. Or not
Another
later,
day.
Completely
Like a
different
week
day, like
later.
a week later, yeah, like a whole week or two later, and now our license plate is missing with some of it left there. So the person's intentions were never to steal it. The person's intentions were to literally damage our property.
Yeah. No other car around was touched at all.
And like I said, what's the use of the license plate to steal it to, you know, pretty much be someone else or something, you know, and you're not gonna damage the license plate if you're gonna try to be someone else. You're gonna keep it good.
You're just damaging it.
Yeah, so they know us, and you know, and the only people that know us, unfortunately, were them.
Yeah.
And so I have a good feeling that it was her, and you know, whatever,
it's
it's over with.
Oliver or something.
It's over with or whatever, and all. But you know, and one thing to take from us too is we learned that pretty much we're just never gonna live with someone again. It's just gonna be me and this guy.
It has to be our place.
Yeah, it's gonna be our place, and we have a plan. We're gonna be saving up in the van for this release for our band. Whether it's, you know, not just the songs, it could be like we're doing right now, merch designs.
We got a lot of shit that we're about to pay for right now that we need this money for.
Yeah. So
anyways,
it's smart if you know, if we're fine with living in the van, saving a lot of money right now, just working pretty much.
Yeah.
But staying focused, getting stuff done, and then when the time comes to release the music, that's when we'll start playing shows, and then next thing you know, we'll actually backtrack before that. When it comes time, before we release the EP, we'll probably end up getting a place after everything's paid off.
Yeah.
So we can start practicing our music to play it live, and then music's release, and then there's our band, and then that's where the whole music thing starts.
Yeah, and just to wrap this story up, right before we left, there was a couple that moved in that we had no idea about. They kind of just came in, and that's when we found out that they were living there. They actually were pretty cool. They were the coolest roommates that we had there.
Yeah, they were cool.
You know,
they had a little dog.
They had a little dog, and anyways, so when they came in was shortly after she told us that we had to leave. We started talking or whatever, you know. He starts asking me, like, you know, how is she, you know. I tell him straight up from the beginning that, like, she's bad, you know, that it's not good to be here, and you'll find out soon enough. And she was gonna charge them $950 a month. She was charging us $375 a month, or $750 a month between the both of us. Right before, like probably maybe a week before we were about to leave, she sends me a text message and she says, "Hey, I actually talked to my manager and you guys can stay." Because like a week before that, she had asked me, "Hey, you got 75 cents I could borrow?" I said, "No, I did. I ain't gonna give it to her." And then the next day after that, she says, "Hey, I'm short on my check or something. Do you got $20 that you think I could borrow until Friday when I get paid?" Fuck yeah, I had it. I didn't give it to her. But after that, she started being a little more friendly. She started talking to me again. And eventually, like I said, she said that we could stay. She talked to her manager and she said we could stay. Then I told her that we're not going to be able to stay because of pretty much the whole music thing, and that we got to spend our money on our music. So that bitch was going to have us stay there for $750 a month, have them stay there for $950 a month. That's $200 more than what the rent of the fucking apartment is, to have all of us sleeping in the living room.
Yeah, to have people sleep in your living room.
So it's just, the whole thing there was just sketchy. So many of her friends were weird. Like, fucking that fight that was going on, there was a 16-year-old girl in there holding a knife, man. I was fucking scared as fuck.
One minute they're crying, the next minute they're laughing, and then, you know, it's just, they're basically just a weird group of people that have the weirdest outlook on stuff. And we were there with, you know, complete different mindsets, and we had a complete different vision of what we thought it would be.
And it was totally 100% different than what we thought.
Yeah.
But, you know, like Dakota said, we learned from it. and we will never get in any kind of situation like that again. And you know, and we're happy where we're at right now, man. We fucking, like you said, we're getting everything ready for the release. Back in the van. I never once at all ever felt at home in that apartment.
And then what I told him the other night, it's crazy to me because being back in this van since we left, and just even before that, I've never felt not one feeling like I did back at that place where we lived with those people. Never. Like, and we're considered alone and homeless and all this stuff, but I don't know, maybe we're just different people or something.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But anyways, that's pretty much the gist of it. You know, that's pretty much 20 minutes of it anyways. I guarantee there's more. There's stuff that we left out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So much stuff that we left out. But you get it. Everything was bad. But that's today's daily video. It was fucking shitty as fuck. But now we're happy. And that's all that matters. So I will see you next time. Oh, and the cockroaches there were so fucking bad. And that's going to be my next story. The cockroach story. Stay tuned for that shit because you might actually puke. Bye.